Woke up this morning to discover Santa Claus. Well, actually the boatyard left me a little present. It's not a present, I'm sure there'll be an invoice, but they left me this nice piece of white oak, which we are going to use to make some butt blocks eventually, but for now, I'm going to make a proper worm shoe. This morning, I got to the boat like, I don't know, 5 a.m. something after work. Woke up this morning to discover Santa Claus. Well, actually the boatyard left me a little present. It's not a present, I'm sure there'll be an invoice, but they left me this nice piece of white oak, which we are going to use to make some butt blocks eventually, but for now, I'm going to make a proper worm shoe to replace this pine one, which was a big mistake. But that's cool. This cost me almost nothing. It was scrap that I had laying around. So just gotta pick a good spot. I don't want to use too much weird grainy stuff for butt blocks. And the worm shoe is basically sacrificial. I think the thing to do is to cut around that knot. Oh yeah. I'll just set it off to one side here. And I think that'll be great. This thing's a little oversized, but that's good. Actually, I wonder if no, it's not deep enough. Whew. Little breeze coming up, which is welcome. It's about 100 degrees in the shade today and about 115 in the sun. But there's a little breeze, so I might survive long enough to do this. I don't really need to clamp this down, I don't think. I made it a little longer. Yeah, you know, I noticed when I can't get the camera down there to get a shot really, but when I took the pintle off, there was kind of a gap back here. And the pintle actually comes aft a little. I may have to do a little carving to make it fit, but I'm going to get it piloted. I don't know if I'm going to mount it today because I got to get the correct primer. I don't know if they have it at the chandlery. I got to get tar paper to replace the layer that got messed up peeling this off. But when I do, I may have to finagle it. But for now, I'm going to get it drilled out, test fit it, dry fit it, and then finish the contouring on it. Where are the screws? They're up in the boat. Of course they are. Of course they are. so I don't forget. It's quite a bit heavier than mine, but that's fine. Actually, I want to do the countersink first. It's probably a nice day to be out on the water on a sailboat. I wish I had a sailboat. Oh. But I gotta do this too. First test fit, it's actually here, of course, at the skinny end where the pintle, it meets it. And I've got quite a bit extra there, but that's good. Because there was a huge gap. This void that you can see was kind of full of bedding compound. I want to see what I can do to minimize that. So when I get my hands back on the pintle, I don't know if Bill's gone anywhere with it yet. I handed it off to him to have somebody look at it. Once I get it back in hand, then I will do a dry fit of that and see what I got to do to the end of this. But for now, because this is a little bit oversized, I'm just going to hog it a little bit on both sides and then make a nice chamfer on the bottom corners. July 17th. I thought at some point I tried to just lift these sole plates up on either side of the mast step and deduced that there were all the screws that were beautifully plugged and varnished over were holding it down. But after hours, I didn't do this all in one day, and just every now and then I would start chipping the wood plugs out and trying to back screws out. I got quite a few of them out, but I was looking at several that would need to be pulled out with an extractor. After many hours of that, I suddenly noticed today while picking away at one of these that it was kind of loose, and in fact they come right up. These screws are holding the layer of plywood to the bottom. This isn't inch and a quarter teak, it's half-inch teak, and actually it's all ply, isn't it? Or is it? No, it's half-inch teak on half-inch marine ply. So color me stupid. I bet the other one will come right up too, won't it? Yep. And there's the transducer connector and everything. The mounting block. There's a lot of crud in here. I'm gonna take a few minutes with the vacuum and clean this out. I also really wanted to inspect the step to make sure everything was happy with that. That's a nicely installed massive step. I don't feel any rod underneath. Beautiful. What a beautiful thing. So looking good after a bit of a wipe down with vinegar solution. Some of this, what I thought was just crud, that's some kind of tar that was put in there. It's not loose or anything, so I'm going to leave it be. I don't see any signs of rot. There was a hunk of like old carpet or something in there, some kind of fabric that was getting a little algae growth on it. I got rid of that. Anywho, I'm a little bummed that I hacked away at those panels. I'm thinking maybe the last time I tried to pull them out, they were swollen with moisture or something. I don't know. I couldn't get them to budge. I was scared to break them, so I figured, I guess I got to take these screws out. The good news is, now knowing they just come out, I'll be able to fix all that on a bench instead of having to do it on the floor, which is what I thought I was going to have to do. Screw them back down and then put new plugs in and varnish all that. I can do it on a bench. For now, I'll just wash those down as well. I'm going to let them dry and stick them back in place for now.
So here we have it. Not too shabby. I thought I had a pretty good lock with my temporary screws down there, but the alignment came off a little bit. In retrospect, a clamp here, clamping it across here on the inside would have been better. Oh well. And in retrospect, it wasn't worth it to try to get fancy and use the power planer along this inside edge to try to make this curve look a little better, because it slipped and I gouged it. But happily, this won't be seen. It's going to be inside a locker. Anyway, the fit to the planks is much better than it was before. And that's the important thing. Threw some primer on it. And I'm still thinking about a sister that goes all the way up to the deck. Oh, I can't go all the way to the deck here, can I? What is that? I can't show you. There's something, I can't even get in there to feel it. And I'm thinking again about the plastic, but I think for this sister it'll be good. I'll go down to about this thing and up to here. It'll get bolted through the existing stuff at intervals, and then maybe one screw per plank to hold it. But first, in order to do that, I got to make a little room here. I thought this was that there's a butt joint here, but now I'm not so sure about that. I'm not sure why I thought that. I'm still inside the boat. I'm just getting started. I'm not going to go outside the boat just to look at this. So I'm going to see if this isn't glued. I think it is, kind of. I'm going to see about trying to take this off without destroying it. Well, with some better light, we can see that indeed that is glued. I took the screws out, it won't budge. But you know, put the light back. It's really not so important that I take it off and know exactly what's going on. I can still cut this back. However, I'm not going to do that today. I'm going to wait till I've got my material and I'm ready to do this. I just felt like looking at it before I went outside to do today's real work.